A dark cloud covered the sky, panicking the villagers. Ashabe looked worried and whispered to King Koman.
He is here.
The cloud grew thicker, making midday look like night. A flock of crows emerged from the darkness, and slowly they combined into one single being.
I'm sorry, love. I had to leave to keep you safe. I did not want the curse of my family to rub off on you.
Ewa wiped her tears. She stepped back from her mother's hug.
What curse, Mama? Where have you been all this time?
I had to fake my death with your father because my nightmare only worsened. A dead queen is better than a mad one, he would say.
Father knew you were still alive?
Yes. Yes, it does. But don't be angry with him for not telling you. We were just trying to keep you safe. The wizard is going to Como. We have to stop him. Or Como will become like Zavati, barren and an outland. We have a war to prepare for. But first, tell me everything you saw in your dream. It might help.
Ewa took a deep breath and started talking. Ashabe listened closely, her stomach churning with worries. When Ewa finished, Ashabe hugged her head sadly.
Our ancestors' greed for money and power had caused problem for the very thing they wanted to protect. The world is out of balance as long as the wizard is alive.
She turned to Asali.
Get your stones and mirror. We need them now more than ever. You and Ajo go to the mountains and bury 5 stones around it. I will open a magic doorway with Ewa's help.
Asali grabbed the shovel and went to Ajo, sat by the lake watching the sunset.
What are you hiding? How did you and Asali become closer than I, your daughter? I am grown up now and I deserve to know the truth.
Ewa asked, feeling very upset. Ashabe took a stick from the fire and replied softly.
It's a difficult story, my child. But trust me, I had no choice.
Ashabe paused as she drew arrows and sigils on the ground, using the burnt edge of the fire stick. Then she continues.
The wars have raged for too long, killing my sisters, and each death made my nightmare worse. I needed to leave the palace quickly to avoid what happened to my father. During my travels, I went to my sister's village. By the river I found Asali, weak and very sick. She was next to the dead body of my sister, who had been gone for days. I performed a special ceremony and took Asali in as my own. Asali was all I had left of my late sisters.
But how can you turn into a crow? Just like the wizard in my dream.
I'm not sure. I think the wizard was trying to trick you into not trusting me. Asali and Ajo are here. It's time to save our village. Everyone hold hands. You know the song, right?
Ewa nodded.
Sing loudly and imagine a safe place in the palace where we can all appear.
No, Ma. I can't.
Yes, you can. Your grandfather was a warrior who killed a god, and you are the daughter of a witch. You can do anything you set your mind to. Now take a deep breath. Picture us all in your room. Mike in his fish tank, Ajo taking care of your bed, Asali as your new friend, and me fixing your hair.
Ashabe encouraged her. Ewa put Mike on her shoulder and took a deep breath, then followed Ashabe's instructions. The women sang in unison. With each repetition, the familiar smell of the palace grew stronger. Ewa opened her eyes. They were in the palace, in her room.
Good job. Hurry, we don't have much time. At midnight, you and Asali put the 4 stones at the palace corners. Ajo, you bury the mirror near the front door.
Just then, a maid carrying new sheets opened Princess Ewa's room. She sees the princess, the dead queen, and a strange girl with Ajo, the missing maid, She screams but calms down quickly. She bows and stutters.
Your Majesty. Oh, I hope I'm not crazy.
You're not crazy. I am alive. Now prepare one bath and find me clean clothes to wear before I see the king. Do it quietly and quickly. We don't want anyone to know I'm back before the king does.
The servant rushes out of the room. At midnight, Asabe crept into King Komo's room. Startled awake, King Komo whispered,
Asabe, is this real or a dream?
Yes, I'm real. Our daughter has grown into a bright and clever princess.
Our daughter? She disappeared 3 days ago. She went looking for you.
We can't be angry with her. Hiding the truth only made her curious. A trait she gets from you. We can't change what's meant to be. I came to warn you. A powerful wizard is coming, and I fear you might be weak against him. He is the cause of the war in other villages. I can't bear for anything to happen to you, our family, or Koma village.
What wizard? How did you get in without the guards noticing?
You forget, I have my tricks.
Well, that's true. Since my queen has returned safe and sound, we should announce it with a celebration first. We can deal with the wizard later.
Excited about Asabe's return, King Koma quickly called the guards and servants to prepare a feast. The next morning, Komo village was filled with joy for their queen's arrival. Suddenly, a dark cloud covered the sky, panicking the villagers. Asabe looked worried and whispered to King Koma,
He is here.
The cloud grew thicker, making midday look like night. A flock of crows emerged from the darkness, and slowly they combined into one single being.
This is a fun get-together. And you look amazing in your new bodies.
King Koman was not happy about the strange man interrupting his party. He grabbed his magic stick and shouted,
Who are you? Why are you here at my celebration without any invitation? You should be punished.
The king waved his black magic stick, but to his surprise, he started shrinking and feeling very thirsty. He tried to talk, but all that came out were croaks. The villagers of Komo watched in shock as their king turned into a frog. They panicked and ran away. King Komo, now a frog, desperately searched for water. Hopping outside, he landed in the palace pond. Mike the frog, who was relaxing on the pond, felt threatened by this new frog invading his space and got ready to fight. Suddenly, Ewa and Asali ran out screaming.
No, Mike. That's father.
They both pulled the frogs out of the pond. Ewa and Asali sat by the pond, each holding a frog, listening to Mike and King Coleman croaking loudly at each other.
I think we should go back to the palace.
They returned to the messy palace and saw the wizard talking to Asabe.
You are falling so low. A god is forced to marry a weak human who cannot protect you or his kingdom.
When King Coleman, now a frog, heard this, he wanted to jump out of Ewa's hand and fight the wizard. But his daughter spoke.
Dad, you can't fight him as a frog.
King Koma, realizing he was powerless as a frog, he hopped back onto Ewa's hand, feeling angry and frustrated as the wizard kept insulting him.
Look at him whine like a helpless frog. Haven't you done enough, Bahara? Aren't you tired of causing trouble everywhere, spreading chaos? Your desire for more power has only destroyed this world.
We could have ruled together, but you refused, and now you will be destroyed.
That's why you tricked the king and killed me? I'm glad I never joined you. You only care about yourself.
Ewa whispers in confusion.
Killed you? Mom, what are you talking about?
You've kept secrets from your family, haven't you? That's not good.
I'll tell you what she's hiding.
She is the monster your ancestors killed. She had no choice but to become 3 sisters through the murderer, the king, hoping to be close to what she lost. But unfortunately, becoming mortal made her forget her goal. She was even sold like a property by the same king who killed her. She failed as a god, and also failing as a human.
You caused this, Bahara. You tricked the king and used him like a pawn in your games with me. But you still lost. You are the failure here, and I will get my revenge for my death.
Ashabi attacks Bahara, while Bahara disappears into a storm. The wizard voice boomed.
We could have been strong together. You, the forest god, and me, the desert god. But you wanted to rule alone. I only told the king about you and your powers in the forest. His greed for power did the rest.
The thick fog from the storm slowly gathered behind Ashabi. The wizard laughs evilly as it changes into a beam.
Join me. We are better together than with a weak human.
Never. Give me what's rightfully mine.
Suddenly, thick vines erupt from the ground and grab the wizard's ankles and wrist, making him helpless. The wizard struggles to pull himself free from the vines, but they hold him tight. He tries to change his shape to escape, but every attempt caused him burning pain.
It's no use. These vines come from the bodies and blood of innocent people you used. They are full of vengeance and hate you.
How is this possible?
You lost your powers when you interfered with human affairs. You are no longer a god, but a human. The longer you lived with humans as a wizard, the weaker your godlike powers became. Besides, waiting all my life for this moment, it's time for you to feel what you've done. For 300 years, you've messed up nature's balance. Now you'll be trapped inside the earth you ruined. But if it protects you during your punishment, you might get another chance at life.
The vines then pulled the wizard deep on the ground. His voice could faintly be heard. Ewa and Asali ran to Ashabi, carrying Mike and King Common. Their eyes were filled with worry.
You can't do this to me.
Hope for them.
Ashabi nods. She took some earth, whispered words to it, and sprinkled it on the frogs. They croaked loudly, sneezed, and turned back into humans. Mike gave Ashabi a big hug. He cried and said,
You remind me of my mom, even though I know you are not her. I knew your mom. She was my sister, just like Asali's mom. They talked about U-boats a lot before their demise. But you were gone when I came visiting.
Why did you attack me at the pond, Mike? That wasn't nice.
Mike shyly apologizes, kneeling.
I'm sorry, Your Majesty. It was the amphibian instinct in me. Please forgive me.
King Komal looked grumpy, smiled.
You both should stay here in the palace. Everyone needs true friends, and families need to be together.
Many months later, everyone in the village of Komo kept having flashbacks from the war. Asabe realized the buried stones and mirrors in the palace might be causing it. She ordered the stones and mirrors to be dug up and taken back to the kingdom of Safati where the problem started. These trophies were buried in the haunted forest, returning the magical elements to nature. Afterward, both Safati and the villages affected by the evil wizard flourished. Rain fell on Safati for the first time in years. The village of Komo also did well, and peace returned to all the lands.